When we talk about informed leadership, the model, the book, it all starts at the very beginning, and the very foundation of the model starts with the four pillars of respect, integrity, dignity, and empathy. And as any foundation is, if you've ever walked across a construction site, you'll notice that everything starts at the very foundation. And from there, once that's solid, you can then build from there. Suffice to say, when respect, integrity, dignity, empathy are absent, it's unlikely that that organization or that leader is going to be able to demonstrate the tenets of an informed leader. How did we land on respect, integrity, dignity, and empathy? Well, if you've been following me for any bit of time, you'll know that I'm from New York City, very specifically the South Bronx, and I grew up in a space where violence was the norm, and very easily you can fall down a path from which you can end up from what they call the school to prison pipeline. Obviously, I avoided that. But how did I avoid that? In my own circumstances, I noticed that the people that I admired the most, that despite the dire circumstances, still reflected a level of humanity that made sense despite the current conditions. And as I started to piece it together, what I noticed was they had respect for themselves and respect for others. They held themselves with integrity, they held others with integrity. They held themselves with dignity, and they also afforded others dignity. They offered empathy for themselves and for others. And it took me a while to notice that, but once I did, I recognized that those elements, they traveled with me everywhere I went. So as I moved around and became an expat, I started to notice whether it was in Korea, whether it was my time in Thailand, or my trips in and out of Greece, or now in the UAE. When those elements are present, respect for self, respect for other, integrity for self, integrity for other, holding people with that. The foundation was solid from which to build upon. And the reason why we start here in informed leadership is you got to start at the beginning. There's no shortcut to being informed and being effective. If you want to embrace an approach to informed leadership, we have to start at the beginning with the four pillars: respect, integrity, dignity, and empathy.